happened after World War II. A major event was the Cold War, which was basically like a war but not a war. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. So colonial powers ended,
Yeah,
right? So
more independent countries.
more independent countries, right? So how did that happen, right? So in World War II, one thing was clear, right? America
Rose.
grows, right? Stood out, right? So they were able to bankroll the war,
Yeah,
right?
it was like the right opportunity to like the right time.
Correct. It was all about timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Britain's era ended
Yeah,
after World War II, right? Yes, they won. They were part of the allies that eventually won the war.
but like at what cost?
At what cost, right? So Britain was bankrupt.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty much bankrupt. Many people in India say that, Gandhi gave us independence, right? Gandhi helped unify the country, right? I know did a very good job of keeping
India
the country together, right? Right? But post World War II.
Britain colonization.
Right? Britain colonization ended. 1945 World War II ended. India got independence in 47, right? So did many other countries.
Yeah.
But the net effect is that I believe that after the first war of independence that happened in
it cost them money.
57, right? When the British East India Company was nationalized by the British government, the Queen, right, said, you know what? The country of Britain will now manage India. This one company cannot manage India. So from 1857 onwards, Britain actually did not benefit from India, in my opinion. Even if they benefited, that benefit ended in late 1800s. Like by 1880, 1890, right? It took more resources for Britain to manage India than what they could extract from India.
Yeah.
They didn't give up India, not because of goodwill, right? Not because they suddenly had a moral conscious, right? Oh, I'm going to...
It's more of an economical reason.
Correct. It was more of an economical reason. Why?
Quote that you said, like, for the Great Britain, like their
sun never sets on the British Empire.
So it eventually sets now.
Yeah, it sets now, right? World War II, I would say that put together America. America was number one, even then, by miles. Right?
But I also think is that like all the major powers before those wars were mainly like colonized. So they were like not their own, but like America like was their own land. They were like, they have land because like they're not colonizing new countries.
No, but World War II, it's not like France was colonized, right? I'm talking about the existing powers.
Yeah.
So you're talking about England, the French, Spain, Italy, right?
Yeah, they got their power through colonizing. And then because of the wars, they have to give up those colonies.
Europeans ruled the world for probably for from 1500, right? Yeah. From late Genghis Khan, after post Genghis Khan area, right? Yeah, from 1500s until 1900s. For about end of the day, right? It was like two European countries fighting elsewhere. Yeah,
I think it's just when time comes, people like alliances change. Because like we know about the 100-Day War and those wars, like in Britain and French were always against each other.
Yeah.
But when it comes to World War II, at some point they were like allies with
because of Germany, right? Yeah. Because see, Germany at that point never unified. Yeah. There was not another threat, right? Like there was never a threat like Germany. It was the French. It was before that Spain. Spain actually at one point owned a lot more than what Britain did. Yeah, think about it.
They discovered the Americas.
The whole South America, right?
They just basically owned it.
Yeah, and Spain also, I think, had the East Indies. Yeah. By the way, it's a very interesting thing, right? You know why Britain dominated Spain eventually?
What?
Because Spain was monarchy. Everything had to go through the king. The king had to fund an expedition. Right? I'm going to fund an expedition to Argentina, the present day Argentina, right? Something like that, right? But Britain was very private very capitalistic. Britain was very capitalistic, right? So
people can actually fund these expeditions.
So, yeah, Britain was very democratized. Yeah. Britain was like, a bunch of people put together would say, you know what, I'm going to fund the ship. And let's see.
War
Yeah,
II,
post
right?
World War II. So
Like,
you
what
had
do you
the
think about the Soviet Union, though?
correct. So post World War II, right? When Russia basically took over whatever Germany occupied,
Yeah.
plus whatever Germany had.
Yeah.
Like remember, it
Like,
started
split
with Germany occupying Poland.
And then they took over.
Then Russia basically went through, took half of Germany. They called it East Germany. I mean, East Germany
Yeah.
remained with Soviet Union, and everything from East Germany onwards to
the mainland of Russia.
to the mainland of Russia became the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Right? It became a bipolar world with basically America and Soviet Union, and small countries like Britain and France were like, oh no, I have to ally with America because if the Soviet Union decides to attack, we won't stand a chance.
Yeah. So like, after this guy called Hitler and Nazis do all this attacking, and they're finally gone, there is another thing, and this thing called Soviet Unions now gonna attack it anytime soon, and we have to watch out again.
Yeah.
So there was like no peacetime in Europe at all.
And also there were two competing point of views of the world, right?
Yeah.
You had the capitalist point of view
of America,
Britain, France, right, and democracy. And you had the communist point of view, right?
Soviet Union, China.
Yeah. And the communists. Imagine when 1945 ended, communism for the very first time, it was tried in many different countries, right? It sucks. By the way, communism, Karl Marx is from Germany. You know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a book called The Communist, I think it's the Communist Manifesto.
I think
how many ideas came from Germany? Einstein came from Germany. Karl Marx came from Germany, right?
It's like Germany lost its own thing, and it's probably all because of Hitler now waiting 2 years.
Yeah. But Hitler also hated communism.
Yeah.
So the fact that Russia became communist in early 1900s, right? The Nazis always hated the communists.
Yeah, they were like the second target after Jews, basically.
Yes, they were the second target after Jews, right? That hatred is why Hitler decided to attack Russia, right? But there were two things, right, in 1945. If you look at it, it was basically communists and capitalists, right?
Yeah.
So the Soviet Union was newly formed. They were strong. To be real, you know what? If anybody blunted Hitler's war machine, for the most part, it was Russia. Soviet Union, and there was NATO. Yeah. So NATO is basically what happened is they formed two pacts, right?
Yeah.
The Soviets formed what is called as Warsaw.
Yeah.
And the Western countries, along with the US, formed what is called as NATO. They formed these pacts, and they said, attack on one nation means attack on
all nations.
All nations, right?
That's just so. If one thing like attacks on NATO, that's just World War III in that case.
Correct.
A lot of history. So now let's talk about like the early 2000s and 2010s, like the digital age.
Well, before that, I think the 90s is also important because 90s is when the Soviet Union collapsed, right?
Yeah.
So Soviet Union collapsed because of, reasons where they just
tensions.
No, it is basically communism, right?
Yeah.
It's like central command that they couldn't do a good job of controlling the economy. They never could grow the economy, right? So I don't know. You might not know, right? So most of the West Germany and East Germany are very good examples.
Yeah.
Same Germany divided between capitalist Germany and communist Germany, right? Berlin, right? There was a Berlin Wall. Over 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s, right? There was so much of economic development on the Western front, right? Like they had many car companies that came about.
Yeah, probably like many famous ones.
Many famous.
I can't remember those, but
even now, right? The current day Mercedes, BMW, or even Japan. Japan was part of NATO, right? America. Yeah. So you had Sony, you had Walkmans, right? There was so much of digital. There was competition, right? With competition comes innovation.
Yeah.
The communists were more like state controlled, right? State would decide, go make a car. There was one car company or two car companies, right? That's it.
So there was basically no freedom for the people.
Correct. And because of that, by 80s, it became evident that a car produced in Soviet Union was probably 30 years behind the car that was produced in the Western countries.
Oh.
Same thing in India, right? I don't know if you
Yeah.
know, there's a car company called Ambassador. Your parents will know Ambassador, right?
Yeah.
Ambassador existed for like 40 years, 50 years, right? The same car, nothing changed. They didn't even change the design of the car, right? While the Western countries kept innovating, right? Kept innovating,
They had
kept innovating.
Mercedes before we had a new model of Ambassador.
They had their cars were much more advanced because they were
Yeah.
competing.
There's more innovation in the world because like no countries are free,
Correct.
and then it was after the Soviet Union collapsed, and it was more of fashion, and then new technology came, like radio waves and computers. What do you think? Was it called the digital age during like that time?
See, computers were there since the
Like,
1950s,
yeah, but like
right?
the modern ones that we see as
So,
like computers, personal ones compared to like more.
so the PC era started with, I think before PC there was the Mac, right?
Yeah.
So Steve Jobs, I think that was late 70s, I think. Then America had computers in the 80s. I think
Yeah.
the PC era came about in the 80s, right? And in the 90s, yes, once Soviet Union collapsed, right, it proliferated, right? Like if you ask any person your dad's age, right, probably PCs became normal in India in early 90s, late 90s, right? 96, 97 onwards, like people started seeing it, right? Like in
Yeah.
schools and colleges and everything, right? So it's right, kind of like how you guys are using now AI, chat GPT.
Yeah.
Your chat GPT was us trying to start up Windows, right? Windows 95 would show up, right? Boom. And
Hypothetical question: based on how much we use internet today, what would you think happened if internet disappeared for months?
see, if the internet stops working, right, the economy would collapse. Because
So
forget about you consuming Netflix and YouTube, right? That's just entertainment.
yeah.
Supply chain, banking, finance, nothing would work, right? Nothing would work. Stock market, it's speculation. Everything is speculation, right?
Yeah.
You want to sell at something that you think it is. I will buy at something that I think it is.
Let's talk more about computers.
Okay.
How do you think like they start the use of like personal computing, like laptops, like helped us in terms of connectivity and like creativity, and just in general? How has it affected us? Because based on my knowledge, they used these big computers at the time, but like the use of these like personal laptops, how do you think it has affected our daily life?
See, the up until the point of PC, right? Everything was a large computer in a room.
Yeah.
Basically a mainframe, right? And it was very limited to some big government entities or corporations that would employ these mainframes to run their operations, right? PC actually brought computing to your home.
Ooh.
Now, PCs revolutionized all of that, right? PCs said, you can, it improved the productivity. Now they talk AI is going to improve your productivity, right?
Yeah.
PCs improve the productivity by a factor of 1,000 maybe, right?
Yeah.
Airline booking, railway booking, banks, right? Anything and everything, right? Everything was now automated with your PC.
Yeah.
And
you talked about AI, right? How do you see, like, how does AI challenge like the traditional ideas of like creativity? Like, because like I've seen a lot of people just use AI to do their work, but like, how does that affect creativity and innovating skills?
Well, the last year or 2 years, right? AI is the buzzword, right?
Yeah,
Everybody loves to talk about AI, right?
Yeah, it was like the last 2 years when it just boomed.
Yeah. My personal experience with AI is that has it improved my productivity? Absolutely, it has, right?
Yeah, that's
right.
Well, so it can be effective if you use it the right way, but like,
correct.
Can it take what jobs if AI got really advanced? What jobs would it take over? Maybe
this is open secret, right? You talk to anybody, right? Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai, or Satyanarayana, right? You
Yeah.
talk to any one of them, right? They are all saying that AI is going to dramatically transform mankind, like how industrialization did. Not even
Yeah.
with the advent of computers, like how industrialization happened in the 18th century, right? In
Yeah.
Europe, right? In 17th
Just like
century,
taking it to a whole
like
other
steam
stage.
engines, right? That is what they're predicting, right? So I have a Tesla. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the full self driving was just a novelty, right? I came to your home
Yeah.
in full self driving. It drove from point to point, from my house to your house. It drove on its own, and it did not make any mistake. It has improved
Man.
so much. It has improved by a fact. It wasn't even half as good 1 year ago.
Oh.
I would say even 6 months ago.
How do they make those like adjustments without really taking your car back and like repairing it like the old ways?
No. It's basically it has cameras, right? The
They
cameras are taking in all of the
So-
video data, feeding it to a central computer. The central computer has a neural net that's
Oh.
basically studying all of the
So they
video
can
data.
just learn about podcasting, learn about
Yeah,
talking.
just like you. So that's what's going to is happening with AI, right? It's
Yeah.
gotten to a point where
People are feeding it so much
that the AI is able to learn.
Yeah.
These AI algorithms are able to learn every day. I don't know how far it's true, right? The prediction is that in the next couple of years, it's going to become some of these companies, right? They're all fighting, right? We have the Gen AI, but it's going to become, it's going to reach some kind of consciousness, right? Meaning it's going to uh, become like a Terminator, right? Where it's going to like become as smart as a human.
Yeah.
2 years from now. In 4 or 5 years from now, Elon Musk is saying that in 4 or 5 years from now, that AI is going to be smarter than all the human beings in the world combined. Silicon AI, biological AI, right? The difference between silicon AI and biological AI is silicon, right, which is artificial, can scale much better.
I've learned this fact that our human mind, don't quote me on this, but like, we know only about 20%, I think, about our brain. And our brain can make 7 trillion operations per second compared to a normal NVIDIA GPU. Yeah, so like, we know only so much about our brain. So like, I think once we learn about our brain, we can use it like our full potential.
Yeah.
And feel ourselves smarter.
Yeah. Or maybe, we have to merge with silicon chips, right?
Yeah.
Like there is that, Elon Musk has
Yeah,
that
like,
chip, right?
Brain
Brain
put it in
implant.
the brain and then they could control the screen.
So
right?
maybe we figure out a way how to enhance our brain,
Yeah,
right?
use it as a tool.
Yeah. I see a future where we have to merge. If we don't merge, they're just going to kill us.
Yeah.
James Cameron predicted that thing Terminator 2 came out in the early 90s, right? And it's like, I think he says something is going to happen in 2020s or something like this. So exact. You should watch that movie. It's an amazing movie.
I guess that's so smart. So let's wrap this up a bit. How do you see your working industry change in 5 years or so? In the next 5 years or so?
See, it is going to be a capital problem, right? Things, right? AI things are very expensive.
Yeah.
Right? So I think right now we are at a stage where we're kind of struggling to figure out what is the return of investment.
Yeah.
Right? So the people that are consuming the services that these hyperscalers are giving us, right? This Google, Microsoft,
Yeah.
OpenAI, all of these people, right? So what they're giving us, right? We are customers, right? Like, okay, how is it actually leading to a productivity gain? Everybody is saying it's going to give us huge productivity gain. It is, but it has, compared to the amount of investments that we are making, right? It has to be substantial, right? If that pays out, if it ends up being substantial, then absolutely I feel it's going to dramatically transform our industry, right? I feel if AIs get very good, right, the IT service industry as we know it will not exist. Will not
Yeah, well,
exist.
that kind of makes sense because
If an agent can do, if an agent can handle a customer service call as well as a real human being, the agent will basically take over what the real human being is doing, right?
yeah,
And if that customer service agent has to talk to somebody on the sourcing side or somebody on the manufacturing side, there could be an agent on the manufacturing side or the sourcing side that can talk to the customer service agent, right?
yeah,
So agentic AI, right? Agent to agent AI.
yeah. So, what would some things that AI cannot take over? Like,
One thing I'll tell you, right? If you're asking what as a young kid, is somebody asking what should I focus on?
No, like what industries are not gonna AI cannot take over?
See, many people say that oh, your physical jobs is not going to be taken over by AI, right? Your plumbing job,
Yeah.
right? Or somebody who comes and does construction, right? That those jobs are not affected. But in reality, if you're working,
you could just have massive AI machines do it.
You can have robots do it, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, right? All robots have to do is get some hand control or whatever, right? And they can do all of that, right? And also, here's the thing, right? If you are working in a high paying job, say you're a doctor,
Yeah.
right? Would you want to become a plumber?
No.
No, right? I mean, that's there's nothing wrong with doing a plumbing job. Absolutely nothing wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't expect a surgeon to suddenly switch jobs to becoming a plumber, right? To survive.
Yeah.
Right? That's the problem. So to your question, right? You're asking
what industries
what
AI
industries, right? See, I think productivity will dramatically improve.
Like what industries AI cannot take over?
All industries productivity is going to improve, right? Like if you were like say if a doctor was able to look after 10 patients, now using AI, the doctor can address 100 patients. The question is there scarcity of medical services in the world? Yes, there is, right? Yeah. 7 billion, 8 billion people are not getting the level of medical service as they need, right? So there is a market for it, right? So the industries that are currently in place, there is going to be a point where productivity will increase, right? Across, right? Some industries will disappear, like IT services, I feel is under real threat.
Yeah.
Back in the day, banks, right? There was
I think accounting is also going to be taken over pretty soon.
Correct.
Yeah, because like accounting is just taking care of those numbers and counting.
Correct. But there you will need definitely
someone to handle it.
Yeah, you will need one person to manage, right?
Yeah.
To use, right? So I kind of will give you a different answer, not directly answer your question. Yeah. I would say that learn how to leverage more and more AI in your job that allows you to improve your productivity.
Yeah.
And once you can improve your productivity, right, you will still keep your job. Yeah.
So like basically using AI against your advantage so AI doesn't take over you. If I'm trying to become a CEO or make any leadership roles, what do you think I should do?
Probably. First thing is, I would tell any young kid, right? Remember I told you like how I was a bit pessimistic to begin with in my life. You should always be an optimist. See, you should have a very global perspective about your life, right? Sometimes we become very insular, right? We operate from a theory of constraints. You know what that is? Theory of constraints. Yeah. So theory of constraints is you always say there is only a cake. I was feeding 5 people and now I have to feed 100 people. There's not going to be enough cake. You're operating from a theory of constraints, right? Versus you have to think about the fact that more people means you can create more jobs, means you can open up more kitchens, you can make more cakes.
Yeah, so like think
which means that everybody can eat more than what it was before. Yeah. And that's how the world has operated, right? Till now. Yeah. If you look at the world, I feel the world in 2026 is better than the world in 2000. the world in 2000 was better than the world in 1975.
Yeah, it is always.
Man, the world in 1975 is like much better than the world in the 1800s. Did you know?
Would
Probably.
the world in the 1800s be better than the world in 1940s?
No, it was worse. See, we are talking about World War II in 1900s, man. In 1800s, there was so much atrocities happening everywhere. There was slavery. It was rampant. You know, the average life in the 1800s, I think the average life of a man was like 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
Like me and your dad will be dead by now. If we were born 100 years ago, 150 years ago. Yeah, that's the fact.
That kind of broke my cake. But it was kind of funny.
No, but that's the fact. That's the fact, right? Yeah. So the world is getting much better, man. You have to operate, you have to be an optimist, right? And you have to surround yourself with good people. Yeah. See, here's the thing, right? If the best people came out of best schools, right?
Then everyone, that level of best would be average. Because everyone is all. But
is that the truth? Like you pick the best school where you're living, right?
Yeah.
Go back 20 years. Check out every student, right? Is everybody absolutely being 100% successful in their lives?
No.
No, right?
It's gonna be 100.
Right. So what I'm saying is, don't always expect that you need something. How do I say this, right? That as parents and even as children, right? You don't have to assume that just because you have so many resources that somehow you will become very successful, right? Like, say, you look at Sundar Pichai, right? He was living in a one-bedroom house in India.
Yeah.
Nothing, right? And those cases are like Satya Nadella, he went to UW in Milwaukee. It's a good university, but it definitely is not a great university. Yeah. By any means, right? Not at all,
compared to any Ivy Leagues.
Or even compared to UW Madison.
Yeah.
Right? But Satya Nadella is the CEO of Microsoft now, right?
I think that's just a fact of like hard work and patience.
Yes, hard work, patience, and optimism. And I've always seen people succeed when they have a vision of what they want to do. Some people just know what they want to do. See,
quote of the day.
I remember how I went to one of the best schools in Bangalore, right? I knew a few kids in my school, right? The level of clarity that they had in 8th, 9th and 10th grade, right? I had no clue, right? But they absolutely they were sure what they wanted to do 10 years from that point. Well, they had it all planned out.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing because
that's what makes a CEO, right? See, again, CEO is just the title.
Yeah.
Right. If you want to be very how do I call it, right? If you want to have that conquer the world,
I kind of want it like I want to lead a group that I want to see successful. Kind of like be a leader.
See, I would answer it in two ways, right? You're thinking too young to become a leader. Yes, you have to learn the qualities, but you have to first pick a skill that you want to be good at.
Yeah.
Pick a skill that you want to be good at, right? First, it can be any skill. Commit to it, excel at it, right? Become really good at it, and now become a leader to grow it.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
So that was this episode. We talked about World War II, post-World War, AI, and a whole bunch of stuff that are really exciting. Until the next episode. See you then, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Vicky. It was very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one thing, right? Today is my birthday.
Actually.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So this was one of the best birthday gifts that I could get, right?
Yeah, you could go to home and see yourself speaking to me again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So until the next episode, this is Vikranth, and hope you see you next episode.